Most people are probably barbecuing, spending time with family, maybe doing some yard work, enjoying their day off from work. But do you know why you have this day off? Do you understand what Memorial Day is? Now, originally Memorial Day was called Decoration Day. Started during the Civil War. Now, ironically, last night at dinner, my wife and I met our friends Danny and Laura. Been a while since we had dinner with them. And Danny gave me kind of an early birthday present, late Alive Day present. Is this book right here. The Amazing Legacy of James E. Hanger, Civil War Soldier. I started reading that book this morning. It took me about 7-8 hours to read the whole book, but I finished it today. I've been an amputee for 20 years. Now, this gentleman did not die in the Civil War, but he was the first amputee of the Civil War. He was the first patient of the doctor that did the first amputation in the Civil War. Now, why do I bring that up? What does that have to do with Memorial Day? Well, ironically, Decoration Day. This day that we have off, Memorial Day, was started during the Civil War. They would take a break in the fire and the gunfights, and the women would rush out to give flowers to their dead. And that's how it began. That's how this wonderful day that we remember the fallen began. So what's it about? Today is about honoring the fallen. All those Americans that died during wars. Now, as somebody that was in multiple wars, over 22 years of service, it's an important day to me. It's not an important day to hang out with family and barbecue. It's a day of reflection. It's a day for me to remember all those men and women that died so we can maintain our freedom. Now, if you don't look at it that way, it's completely fine. It's obviously a little closer to my heart, and for many of you veterans that might be watching this, it's going to be close to your heart. And even more so for those friends that we lost. Your friends, your fellow soldiers that died on the battlefield. So throughout this video, I'm going to put pictures up of just a handful of Marines I've known and one sailor that I either fought with in the battlefield or died during our combat tours. And I'll sprinkle them throughout. It can be simple, be their picture, it's going to be their name. That's my way of remembering them. It's my way of sharing that remembrance with you, each of you that watch this video. Now, how are some of the ways that we honor the fallen? Many, we have memorials. We have their names on plaques, on statues, around our bases, in our hometowns, in our American Legion halls, so that we can remember them, that we'll never forget them, because that's our promise. We might not have ever been able to tell them that was going to be our promise. But all of you that served, no, we just want to be remembered. We want to be remembered for the sacrifice that we gave for our brothers and sisters and our country. So being able to consistently remember is easier than when we put things up. Other ways, yeah, we do parades. You know, every Memorial Day there's going to be a parade somewhere close to you. It's a good time for veterans to get out there, walk the streets, showing how they honor those that went before us, those that fell on the battlefield. Now, a lot of people get it mixed up with Veterans Day. It's not Veterans Day. Veterans Day is in November. May is our month to remember the fallen, and it's specifically on Memorial Day. Now, some of those parades are big. I'm going to have some pictures in here of me and my son at a Memorial Day parade we did a few years back, a little while back now, in Dearborn, Michigan. It's one of the largest Memorial Day parades in the country. And I hope that they continue to do that. I don't know if they do. It's a different world up there nowadays. But I hope they do, because it was pretty amazing to me. So one, it was amazing to be the guest. I mean, quite the honor. And it was amazing for me to share it with my sons. But I still reflected on all my buddies that I knew, all my buddies that fell on the battlefield. So that comes into ceremonies. You know, a lot of veterans groups will hold ceremonies in cemeteries. You'll have the ones at the national cemeteries. You'll have local cemeteries, like here in my little hometown. Every year we have a Memorial Day ceremony to reflect and remember. And it gets smaller and smaller every year as more veterans pass away. But we continue to do it, and then encourage all those veterans behind us to get involved. Because eventually, some of us are in our mid-50s that stretch out from the late 80s all the way through these last current conflicts. You know, eventually these younger service members and veterans are going to have to take over the torch, because a couple decades down the road, we're not going to be here to do it. Another way we wear poppies and we put flowers on graves. You know, I'm going to have a picture in here of Arlington Cemetery. My last 3 years in the Marine Corps, I was at the Pentagon, and it was pretty amazing to see all the service members that come out to put flags in every one of the graves at Arlington Cemetery. And if you've never been to Arlington Cemetery, it's impressive. It's massive. So they go out of their way to put an American flag on every single grave in that cemetery to honor the fallen. And then back to the simple remembrances. All of us that have served with our friends that have died on the battlefield, we might have our own private remembrance that we just keep to ourselves. And sometimes I think that's pretty much almost every day. Every day I put a bracelet on that has the name of a young Marine. It's going to be, you'll see his photo in here, Corporal Chris Leon. Passed away about a month after I was wounded. But every day I put his bracelet on. Every day I think of that young man that his life was cut so short, yet he was a brave enough hero to do the job that he did without that fear of what would happen to him. And all of those heroes that die, most of them never thought it would probably happen. That's what makes them heroes. Not just because they fought, but more importantly because they fought and they gave up their life for all of us so we could be free and we could continue to serve our great country. Now, as I get to the end of this, probably the most important advice I could give you today during this wonderful Memorial Day, remembering the fallen, I would just ask you, while you're barbecuing, while you're doing whatever it is you're going to do today on this day off, never forget them. Even if you never served, even if you don't know anybody that died in combat, never forget them. There's nothing more important that we could do for them to carry on their memory. You know, they gave it all. How can we forget them when they gave everything for our wonderful country? So on this Memorial Day, while you're enjoying it, please take some time out to reflect. Please take some time out to remember why we have this day, even if it's only a couple minutes. Just think about all the Americans that have died for each and every one of us. You can never forget.